Hi, I'm Zia, and welcome to Saxon Wrap Up. So, last episode, I talked about Trump's new budget plan and how there's going to be a lot of new changes, and the education program is going to see a lot of changes. So, the new Secretary of Education is Betsy Devos. She helped fund the Trump campaign a lot. She and her family helped campaign for him, and her spot is a little questionable considering, she paid for a lot of stuff. And she doesn't believe in public schools. She thinks everybody should go to a private charter school, for profit, so you have to pay for it. And she's not qualified at all. She doesn't know what the Individuals with Disability in Education Act is, and that's just a fairly basic program to help people with disabilities in schools to grow and have like a program for them. She didn't know what that was, and she wants to, and this is a quote, she wants to enhance God's kingdom. So, as a non-religious country, we're having a lot of religious agendas kind of shoved on us with this new administration, and she's a perfect example of this. She wants all of God's creatures to get very expensive education that we can't afford. And so the first thing that most likely will get cut is the Title II grant. And this grant allows states and nonprofit teacher training organizations to promote classroom greatness and to help like grow and to improve the teachers. And a lot of states rely on this money for teacher salaries and for getting new supplies and just improving themselves as a school. And if this is cut, there's going to be lower teacher quality, there's going to be a $168 million increase for charter schools, and a $250 million increase for voucher programs. There's going to be less public school, if any, and there's going to be a lot of federal private schools, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me considering, they're private. And we already have to pay for college, so that, like, if you're going to go to college, that's so much money to pay for your education, and if you want to get a basic education, you have to pay for that too. So that's going to cost so much money to everybody, government, the people. Like, a lot of people won't be able to get a good education, if any education, because they can't afford it. And if everybody's going to go to private school, that's going to lower the standards for the private schools. Like, private schools are now like the better education because you have to pay for it. They have more money to fund for more resources. But if everybody goes there, it's going to lower the standards. It's going to like drain their budget, and they're not going to be able to pay for, those crazy good teachers and those amazing programs and those like amazing resources that they do have. They're not going to be able to afford it anymore because there's so many people rushing in, and it's going to mess up the entire thing. So it's going to be like public school standards, but you're going to just pay for it. So that doesn't help anybody. It just hurts people's wallets. I don't see the point of it. And this is called the skinny budget. Trump calls it the skinny budget, which is such a weird name for a budget. But it is Trump, so. His Secretary of Education is trying to just change everything and get rid of schools. It's anti-innovative, it's anti-accountable, and it's anti-student. Like, this is not going to help anybody. This is it's basically like high school and middle school and elementary school and any preschool, like kindergarten, just raising the prices. So that's not going to help anybody. And it's very scary that people are going to have to pay for basic education. And while there's places in Europe, like Germany, where even college is free, like, they don't have to pay for their education because they feel like education is a right. We don't even get education anymore unless you have money. And with all of the new other reforms, like with the military and with the EPA, there's going to be less money for us to spend on the now expensive education. So, I know I always say this, but we're just going to have to wait and see, you know. We're just going to have to hope that this doesn't go through. We're going to have to hope that you know, we can keep our public schools. And as much as, like, us students complain about public school, like, we're so lucky to have it. We're so lucky to have free education that we can learn, because a lot of people don't get that. So now it's just going to cost money, and yeah, I don't think that's very good. So like I said, we'll have to just wait and see. So I'm Zia, and thanks for watching.